being part of that network justify being shot?
Well, being part of the network doesn't justify being shot, but ramming an ICE officer with your car, that's what justifies being shot. It's not a good thing, by the way, but when you force somebody to engage in self-defense, it's almost a preposterous question. I'm not saying that funding some of this stuff justifies capital punishment. Nobody would suggest that. The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car and that guy acted in self-defense. That is why she lost her life. And that is the tragedy. Now, there may be other violations of the law and other penalties that are associated with those violations of the law. For example, if you are funding violence against our law enforcement officers, I'm not a prosecutor. My guess is that's not the sort of thing that earns capital punishment, but it should sure as hell earn you a few years in prison if you're funding the effort to try to assault our law enforcement officers. What is, I'm sorry guys, what's going on here? You guys are meant to report the truth. How have you let yourself become agents of propaganda of a radical fringe that's making it harder for us to enforce our laws? You just asked me a question that presumed that the reason why this woman died is because she was engaged in legitimate protest. She tried to run somebody over with her car, and the guy defended himself when that happened. Next question.
Lord have mercy. Just walking in the heat.
That's fine. U.S. citizens.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there ain't much left. 'Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you talk and where you walk, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? We spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. We spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life, I raised by the basin. So I gotta be down with a hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a low out gangster, set tripping banger, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my name. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? We spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. We spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Money and the power, minute after minute, hour after hour. Everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking. It's going on in the kitchen, but I don't know what's cooking. They say I gotta learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? We spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. We spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Welcome to this week's Reflective Moments of America's Military, a weekly segment where we take you through some of the major events from the U.S. military's 250-year history. On January 8, 1815, Major General Andrew Jackson led the United States to its greatest land victory with the War of 1812, thwarting the British at the Battle of New Orleans. Jackson's hastily assembled army defeated the numerically superior British, marking the last major engagement between the United States and Britain. On January 10, 1776, Thomas Paine published the pamphlet Common Sense that would become a cornerstone of the American Revolution. Thomas Paine presented a powerful argument for complete independence from Great Britain, written in a plain style that resonated with the common person. On January 11, 1755, founding father Alexander Hamilton was born in the West Indies. At the Siege of Yorktown in 1781, he led Continental forces to capture a British redoubt. After the war, he went on to co-author the Federalist Papers, a series of essays promoting the ratification of the United States Constitution, and became the nation's first Secretary of Treasury. And this has been this week's Reflective Moments of America's Military. Visit our website to learn more, and stay tuned next week.